You probably remember this, but a few weeks ago, Elon Musk responded in the affirmative, agreeing to a post that essentially just laid out the basic argument for the Jewish question. The post said something to the effects of, we shouldn't care for the plight of Jewish people because Jewish people promote hatred of white people. It's it's like the fundamental basis of Nazi ideology concerning Jewish people. And Elon Musk replied with laughing, crying emoji, 100 emoji, arrow hitting the center of a target emoji, Lamau emoji. And after that, there was a huge wave of advertisers who left. Apple, IBM, a bunch of others. You can look it up. Another wave of advertiser boycotts because, as it turns out, it looks bad to advertise on sites that are completely owned and controlled by people who are openly agreeing with neo-Nazis. That's bad. It's a bad look, as it turns out, you know. Following that, Elon Musk threatened a lawsuit and then filed one in a very blatant case of seeking a jurisdiction in Texas, under which the Attorney General of Texas said that he would, happily prosecute those companies. And Media Matters, the organization that filed the report on how Nazi-ified Twitter had become, for, I don't know, lying to destroy Twitter's revenue or whatever. So he filed a lawsuit. But that doesn't bring the money back, you see. And the lawsuit's going to take a while to push through. It's also not going to go anywhere because it's a bullshit lawsuit. Following all of that, Elon Musk recently went on and had a pleasant conversation about the state of his company following the advertiser boycotts, and it was absolutely hysterical. I genuinely cannot overstate how insane this whole conversation was. I took a look at this and I thought, wow, I had to take a look at the whole thing, and I took a look at a bit of the whole thing, and it's a lot more of what we're going to see here, but I'm going to focus on the part I have something to say, something to say something about.
No, actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
and the whole world?
Now, some of the things that I want you to focus on here is how unhinged and disconnected from his environment he looks. Don't focus on other stuff like the fact that Elon Musk looks like an aging butch lesbian. That's superficial and not material. It's not just a matter of him being awkward here, and he is very awkward. It's also a matter of him genuinely seeming disconnected from his environment. Pay attention to audience reactions, too. It's like he's dissociating. Listen.
It's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
and the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
But those advertisers, I imagine, are going to say, we didn't kill the company.
Oh, yeah?
They're going to say...
Tell it to Earth.
But they're going to say, Elon, that you killed the company because you said these things and that they were inappropriate things and that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform, right? That's what they're going to say.
And let's see how Earth responds to that.
This goes back to...
There's an audience to this, by the way. I know it doesn't seem like it from the dead silence, but there's an audience here.
We'll both make our cases,
right,
and we'll see what the outcome is.
What are the economics of that for you? I mean, you have enormous resources, so you can actually keep this company going for a very long time. Would you keep it going for a long time?
Keep in mind, this guy is trying to tee Elon up, okay? This is not in any way, shape, or form an antagonistic interview. You know? This is, he's trying to tee Elon up here. This is an effort to launder him, essentially, and he's not taking it.
If there was no advertising?
I mean, if the company fails because of an advertiser boycott, it will fail because of an advertiser boycott. And that will be what bankrupted the company, and that's what everybody on Earth will know.
Again, I hope I don't have to point this out, but are you hearing how he's talking? So the way he's speaking, I'm guessing here, I'm not psychic, the way he's speaking here is the way that people tend to speak when they are so nervous that they're on like the verge of a breakdown or shutting down entirely. There's kind of like an upper lip thing where like your jaw tightens and you're like trying to speak through like half of the, I don't know what's called the glottal range, the way you like move your tongue. I'm not sure. There's like a whole science to this, but
what do you think then of the? This goes back to the idea of trust, though.
Then it'll be gone. and it'll be gone because of an advertiser boycott.
But you recognize that some of those people are going to say that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform. And I just wonder and ask you and think about that for a second.
Tell it to the judge.
Okay. First of all, I love the implication that he's going to sue the companies for no longer advertising. But again, think of what is being teed up for him here. This guy is like, well, people are going to say that it was your behavior. All Elon would have to say here is say, we run a free speech platform that millions of people use. Some of the speech on this platform is not going to be agreeable to everyone, and that's fine. That's the nature of free speech. There is a very standard bullshit line here that he could deliver that would fit perfectly with the rhetoric that he has used up to this point. But he can't do it because he is so upset and so disconnected and so mad that he's literally sitting there going like, they'll pay. They'll all pay. Literally, that's what he's doing. He's the wealthiest man in the world. He's sitting there like he's like interrupting the interviewer. He's not getting any engagement or response from the audience. Like, it'd be very easy to like work with the teeing up that the other guy is doing. What do you think of the fit? People on Twitter have criticized him for being one of those guys who finds one cool jacket and then doesn't accessorize with it and just puts the jacket on and thinks that that's a cool outfit when all it is a cool jacket on a bad outfit. And what do I know about fashion? I won't comment further.
Judge is going to be...
The judge is the public.
And you think that the public is going to say that Disney is making a mistake?
Yes.
And they're going to boycott Disney?
They already are.
Well, they're
in a world where even the most objectively evil companies like Nestle or Exxon or whatever else are capable of delivering like bullshit PR statements in the face of really obvious, objectively bad stuff that's come out about them, he's like shaking up there, you know? He's like they'll pay. Everyone sees what they're doing. They're making me hurt, but I'll make them hurt. Like, he sounds insane. I hope I'm not underselling this. We get so used to how crazy Elon Musk is that you forget like how out there all this behavior is. You know, it's not just him being awkward. People will say, and by the way, the amount of laundering and spinning that I have seen from Elon fans is incredible. As soon as this clip dropped on Twitter, everyone was mocking it. Everyone was quote tweeting it, going like, wow, holy shit. I quote tweeted it, and within 30 seconds of me posting it, I had about a half dozen bots or Elon fans, they're indistinguishable, who had replied saying, I think he looks epic here, or something to that effect. Like an enormous effort is being made to spin his behavior here to convince you that he does not sound absolutely insane. This isn't the only bit of the interview we're going to watch. There's actually a worse bit, if you can believe it. Hold on. This is the part that I quote tweeted.
Obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself.
So the business model of Twitter is to make money off of advertisers. And he is describing choosing not to do that as blackmailing. He doesn't seem to understand what his own business model is. Also, take a look at his body language. Take a look at the way he says stuff, just the way he talks. Look at this again. Like, watch. It's like you're watching an animatronic. Is this actually like a surprise test of the Tesla bot? Is this like you know, are we showcasing?
You don't.
Vaush, body language expert. Dude, people like read online one day that a lot of like forensic body analysis experts are bullshit, and then they decided like, oh, I guess like there's nothing you can learn from looking at a person. Like, I've read that these like bullshit like propaganda laundering like, oh, the way their hands move means they're not. Meanwhile Elon is moving like this, and it's like, oh wow, you're really leaning into that pseudoscience there by saying that behavior looks odd, like maybe he's just cold. Please.
Don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
Hear the murmuring in the audience? I need you to understand, okay? This is a owner of a media company saying, go f yourself if you're not going to advertise on my platform. Have you in your life ever heard any person who represents a company talk like this? Because I never have.
But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
Well, let me ask you then.
He's referring to Bob Iger. Again, this is like a complete psychological meltdown here. This whole interview is supposed to be like an opportunity for him to level his image out after openly siding with Nazis on the platform he controls. And he's essentially, he's having a meltdown, and he's like, oh, all you people who don't want to have your ads appear next to me defending Nazis, f yourself. You're blackmailing me. You're killing this company. Let the people decide. History will vindicate me.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think that...
Are they laughing with or at him? There's no applause. You hear any applause? You can't act this way as a corporate representative, Like he's doing a Kanye West bit. This is not laughing with him. Otherwise, they'd be laughing and applauding because they know that he's trying to do this big, glorious Braveheart, rally against the oppressive Bob Iger, Disney, whatever. They're laughing because he's ridiculous. It's insane. Yeah, it's nervous, is he insane laughter,
Then about the economics of X. If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
Why?
I understand that, but there's a reality too.
Why?
View. What do you do?
Why?
I understand that, but there's a reality too. Right?
GFY, go f yourself. His childish laugh after he says this, the audience barely even engaging with it. That's all he has to say. Again, he's being teed up for victories here, and all he has to say is, no, f you, f you, f you.
I understand that, but there's a reality too. Right?
Yes. No.
I mean, Linda Yaccarino's right here, and she's got to sell advertising.
Absolutely. So
this guy is literally like, you are sitting next to the CEO who you appointed to run shit because you're an optics nightmare, and you're just sitting up here doing your Hitler downfall speech over Bob Iger.
So, no, totally. No, actually, what...
This is like a full-on mental breakdown. Yes, it is. And I will guarantee, everyone who is watching this who doubts me when I say that, you will believe me when I show you the next tweet after we're done with this one.
What this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
and the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
So yeah, that's it. That's his response. That's his engagement here. His engagement is, I don't apologize for agreeing with Nazis. Everyone, I am the victim here. Everyone who isn't advertising with me, go f yourself. F you. If you're watching this, f you. I hate all of you. You're destroying us. You're killing us, and the world will know. The world is watching, Bob Iger. Everyone is seeing how you're not giving me money to run ads on my platform. and the interviewer just keeps giving him time and time again, keeps giving him an opportunity to level the ship, to go like, okay, well, seriously though, like he literally said, but like in reality, okay, so like what's your business model going forward? And what does Elon say? They're killing the company. He doesn't even have a business model going forward. Can you imagine being a Tesla investor and seeing the guy whose image props up your entire brand do this, and go, and it, literally Elon Musk to just be like, no, fuck you, we don't have a strategy, like, it's a complete freakout. No, Somniostatic, I watched a portion of the full thing. This is the worst part in my opinion, but there's a lot of really bad shit there too. Oh, there's also this. Was it this one? No, this one. Classic.
So I will certainly not pander. And Jonathan, like, the only reason I'm here is because you were a friend. Like, what was my speaking fee?
You're not making any. First of all, I'm Andrew, but
yeah, sorry,
it's okay. Second of all, we've known each other.
Incredible. Again, this is the guy who's trying to tee him up, and he says, "You're not making any sense. By the way, you got my name wrong." Mental breakdown. Genuinely, I think he's dissociating a little. Yes, I genuinely think he's having a psychotic break, and I am about to prove it to you. I am about to prove it to you. Are you ready? Insane. Insane. He didn't shave his entire face. As somebody who has spent his entire life shaving, the idea of doing a clean shave and missing this much hair under the edge of your jaw, below your ear, this is like a cartoon drawing of a mental breakdown, okay? Let me explain to you how bad this is, okay? First of all, as anyone who shaves constantly, as anybody who has spent their life shaving, which he has, by the way, he has, more so than I do, I have a beard, he doesn't. The amount of mental slippage necessary to miss that is insane. That's not like some stubble or whatever. That's a solid like third of an inch of hair right there, okay? This is not something that you could miss easily. You couldn't miss it easily with a straight razor or with an electric razor or anything. Yeah, that's a tuft of hair right there, okay? This is showing up to an interview without your pants. But it doesn't stop there, okay? First of all, I would argue that making a mistake like that in and of itself is indicative of like a severe, we're not talking about somebody who's going to the grocery store, okay? This guy is going out to a New York Times, financial interview. Like he's the wealthiest man on earth. He's here to defend his company and promote his like grand like Hitler downfall speech bullshit to an audience of he knows will be millions of people. This is not something you can forget in that environment. It's genuinely like forgetting your pants going to school. It's a joke that if you actually did it would make people really worried about you. If you actually did forget your pants when going out to do something, that wouldn't be a laughable moment. People would be very worried about your mental state because it's about that difficult to forget to do something like that. Also, another big point here, that means nobody looked over him before he went out there. Before you do an appearance on TV, before you do anything in a professional setting, people look over you. This is so, universal. It happened to me before I talked to Congressman Sunak in D.C. Anytime cameras are about to be on you, somebody will be there to make sure you look all right before they turn on. The fact that he went out there with that patch of hair, this massive... Oh, did I say Sunak? Ro Khanna, sorry. Did I think Rishi Sunak? Yeah, the fact that he went out there with that tuft of hair means that nobody looked over him. Yeah, to think that I'd made that mistake while criticizing the appearance of an African man. I know. They didn't care. No. If anybody's job was to look over Elon Musk's appearance before he got sent out there to anything regarding like makeup or lighting or anything, if they had seen this and not done anything, that would have been their job. My personal opinion, he shooed them off. There were people who were trying to go over him to make sure that he was presentable for the cameras, and he went, no. Guarantee you that's what happens, 100%. And this is insane. insane bullshit. If your job is like front-facing media work, the idea of being able to miss something like that and then shoo people away whose job it is to cover for those mistakes, mental break. I full on mean it, mental break. I don't know, Vaush, there are many people who would do his makeup and all, assuming this was... No, they didn't. Because if people were there to do his makeup, they would have seen this and freaked out. Do you have any idea how big and evident of a mistake this is? Like, anyone who's there to do makeup, and then they see this, that's like a code red. Maybe make a video about ketamine. I don't think it's a ketamine thing. Was he acting like he was on ketamine? Calm down, it's not that bad. No, I think that you're insane if you disagree with what I'm saying here. This is ridiculous. I think that people who disagree with me on this are just ignorant of the processes that are that go behind like doing work in front of TV, you know? Like plenty of people go on TV on ketamine or cocaine or whatever. This isn't just drugs. This is a mental break. Isn't part of his brand being a bit of a slubby bro? Not like this. Vaush, missing a spot while shaving does not mean you're having a mental break. I feel like you're being sort of deliberately ignorant here, okay? But let me go over this one more time, okay? Missing a spot like that on its own is insane. If you shave every day or even every week, you have this down to muscle memory. Up shaving when you are 60 years old on a big visible patch is wild, okay? A big visible, easy to feel patch. This is like, I need you to understand, like you're 16, you've shaved 3 times, so you don't understand, like you get used to it, okay? Absolutely wild at the face of things, especially before a big TV appearance where you're going to be defending yourself in a pretty heated situation. So there's all of that for one. Then there's the fact that he would have had to have shooed off people whose job it would have been to look over him, like makeup and lights and what have you. He would have had to have shooed them off because otherwise they would have immediately pointed that out. Shaving is literally a trope to show off mental state. That's why I'm saying like it's a cartoonish example of how like mentally degenerated a person is. Vaush, you're reading way too much into this. I genuinely think that you're ignorant if you believe that. You have no idea. Fuck, I feel like the people in chat who disagree are either women or 16, so they don't understand like how many like links in the chain have to break for this to happen. Like, there's a reason this doesn't happen. There's a reason why in all of the thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of casual appearances that you've seen from world leaders, business people, and what have you, you don't randomly see people like that with that much power on big, like, mainline productions have patches of unshaved hair under their ear. In fact, you never see it. It never happens. Like, ever. Ever. Because there are systems in place to make sure powerful people are always presentable when they do stuff like this. I think you're onto something, but it's because of your autistic fixation on fashion appearance. Most people wouldn't walk through these steps to think about it, so they think you're overanalyzing. Yeah, I guess that maybe I've sort of delegitimized myself here by caring about appearance. So it's like, oh, he's just being like hyper fastidious or whatever. There's a reason people with dementia still shave. Yeah. Except for Boris Johnson, where it's deliberate. Boris Johnson had his look very carefully curtailed by his team. He looked disheveled on purpose. This is not on purpose. Nobody has a tuft of unshaved hair under their ear on purpose. There's no, like, positive association with that. Then how do you explain Trump going on TV looking like that? Exact same way. Trump has plenty of makeup and hair people. He's just going for a different appearance, you know? The makeup and hair bit that he does may look ridiculous, and it does, but it is deliberately cultivated. It's not an accident. Plenty of people oversee that, you know? That spot is horrible to get, TBH. No, it's not. It's fine. It's very easy. I work for Germany's biggest TV broadcaster. This is not normal. Vaush is right. Anyone who knows anything about broadcasting or what goes into getting a person on TV in front of a camera will agree that I'm right. This is something for which only ignorance can let you disagree with me. Because you've never done that, so you think like, oh, you know, it's like, well, he made a mistake. That doesn't happen. That does not happen. I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, these are still people that can make mistakes. Yeah, and some mistakes are more indicative of like loss of mental health than others. And again, it's not just one person; it's multiple people. You telling me a makeup crew missed that? Like the makeup crew that definitely were there to assist Elon Musk in making sure that he looked good before that didn't see that? Are they blind? Is it a blind makeup crew? Chad thinks of it like leaving your fly down. Yeah, I feel like I'm overselling the point on this one. But whatever the case is, I know I'm right. So, you know. Anyway, We don't know what happens with the imaginary makeup crew. I know what happened with the imaginary makeup crew. Elon Musk shooed them away. They went over to him and said, hey, Elon, let's touch up your appearance. And he said, no, and he shooed them away. I mean, Jesus, look at how he looks. You think a makeup team looked over him? A makeup team definitely approached him, because makeup teams always approach people before you go in front of a camera. That's their job. They have a very important job. He really does look like a 90s era lesbian. Yeah. He looks like a Fishman from Innsmouth. It's pretty bad, yeah. Sheesh. Do you think Elon's had Botox done? He's definitely had work done, yeah, for sure. Vaush, I think chat doesn't realize how often makeup teams touch up people like this. It's basically anytime you're on a camera, it's so ubiquitous, it's almost invisible. Yeah. It's that, like, when you're, especially when you're Elon Musk, world's wealthiest man, about to go on like a New York Times interview, basically what happens is you're in the production room behind the actual interview set, like behind the curtains or wherever they're staging it, you know? And there will be a team of at least 2, but probably more in the ballpark of like 3 or 4, depending on like how long they have with you, whose job it is to make sure you look immaculate and like apply concealer and do everything possible. They will be with you basically the whole time until they've decided that you're presentable enough for TV, and they'll be on standby in case anything happens to your appearance. They'll check up on you before you go out there, and during breaks, like when the cameras will turn off, like in between sessions for a TV show or whatever, they will go out there and touch you up. They're like an omnipresent force in TV production. They do like touch-ups and checks and stuff. It's impossible for them to miss a patch of hair under the ear, which means that he had to have shooed them away, which is an insane thing to do when you're about to do this big speech on how Bob Iger is personally destroying your company, to turn away the people whose job it is to physically make you look better. It's something one could only do if they were having a mental breakdown or incredibly high or both, which I think the case here is both. Yeah, Killjoy 40K, his stilted facial expression making is probably a combination of some kind of recent plastic surgery and incredible nervousness, though it could be one or the other. This is something you get denied a job over? Oh, for sure, for sure. Next, I'll talk about it for 20 more minutes if I want to, you pieces of shit. Jesus, he looks bad. Did you see the Cope response from Linda Yaccarino? Oh yeah, let's take a look at that. Today, Elon Musk gave a wide-ranging and candid interview at DealBook 2023. Oh, DealBook Summit. Okay, that's what it was. Oh yeah, the New York Times DealBook Summit. Okay. I thought it was a New York Times thing. It says so right here. Yeah, okay. He also offered an apology. Oh, dude, you know it has to hurt Elon. After all this happened, like they had a conversation behind the scenes, and she was like, we have to frame this as an apology. And he was like, I don't apologize for anything. She's like, okay, but we like seriously have to here. Please, God, look at the books. X is enabling an information independence that's uncomfortable for some people. We're a platform that allows people to make their own decisions. And here's my perspective when it comes to advertising. Twitter is standing at a unique and amazing intersection of free speech and Main Street. Yeah, this is the kind of like corpo bullshit speak that you would expect given this position. But he, again, just insane behavior here. Truly incredible stuff. Twitter CEO in damage control mode after Musk tells fleeing advertisers to go f*** yourself. Musk on Thursday commented precisely in response to someone who posted remarks of independent journalist Glenn Greenwald, who said in a part, "What went wrong here is not what Elon Musk said. It's so revealing that so many journalists are aghast that anyone would dare tell Disney and major corporations to go f*** yourself when they're trying to limit, censor, and control the flow of political content. If you aren't willing to say that to corporations who are trying to limit what you can say, don't bother calling yourself a journalist." Actually, free speech is when you legally and socially compel corporations to continue doing business with you after your company owner agrees with Nazis.
The New York Times.
Please look at this clip too. F it, why not? Are we assuming this is legitimate insanity though? No, I do think that he's having a mental break. That's not just my opinion. Like, people who worked with Elon Musk literally said like that he was like mentally unstable and they were worried he would harm himself after he locked himself in his office.
Company and the New York Times newspaper, it appeared over the summer to be throttled.
What did?
The New York Times.
Well, we do require that that everyone has to buy a subscription, and we don't make exceptions for anyone. And I think if I want the New York Times, I have to pay for a subscription, and they don't give me a free subscription. So I'm not going to give them a free subscription.
But were you throttling the New York Times relative to other news organizations, relative to everybody else? Was it specific to the Times?
They didn't buy a subscription.
I love my pro-free speech king. Yeah, they didn't pay.
It only costs like $1,000 a month. So if they just do that, then they're back in the saddle.
So desperate for money, dude.
But you are saying that it was throttled.
No, I'm saying.
I mean, was there a conversation that you had with somebody? You said, look, you know, I'm unhappy with the Times. They should either be buying the subscription, or I don't like their content, or whatever.
Any organization that refuses to buy a subscription is not going to be recommended.
But then, what does that say about free speech? And what does that say about amplifying
free speech
certain
is not exactly
voices?
free. It costs a little bit.
Right, but that's it. But that's an interesting.
Yes, again, like, watch the entire interview for more bangers like this. Honestly, it's so bad, dude. I want Elon Musk to be on television like 24/7, because this guy is like a self-optics landmine. He's like an optics suicide bomber. Incredible.
Yeah, no, it's like in South Park where they say, you know, freedom isn't free, it costs $1.05 or whatever. But it's pretty cheap. Okay, it's low cost freedom.
Remarkable. Yeah. I don't say this lightly, but I genuinely think like his story is one of those that could end in suicide. Like, you know, normally people like Elon Musk could have done a million things to keep it from going to where it's gone, or they could have been like cynical in ways that would allow them to sort of take the money and run. But not him, man. No, he genuinely, sincerely seems to be absolutely losing his shit. Dude, I can't believe I did the Ro Khanna Rishi Sunak thing. That's so embarrassing. My brain literally did the like name one woman Adolf Hitler thing, where I thought like, who did I go to DC to talk to? Who did I? Oh, he was the Punjabi guy, right? He's Indian. Name one Indian. I could have. Would it have been worse? I think it would have been marginally worse, but not by that much. If I had said Modi, you know. I think that would have been slightly worse and slightly funnier. Incredible stuff, truly. Make sure to donate and subscribe to this, the greatest of all political minds. I really appreciate all the faith that you guys place in me and my magnificent brain. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention how Elon Musk is now pushing the Pizzagate conspiracy. Honestly, dude, whatever. Again, like, Elon Musk is losing it, and he is desperate for any positive like affirmation he can get from the lunatics who still like him. So the more he does shit like this, the more unprofitable Twitter will become. Fine, whatever, honestly. That's stare holy shit, yeah. Oh, look at that. In conversation event with Rishi Sunak. Maybe I only made the mistake because I already looked forward into the future and saw this article, and I had sort of the name transposition here, huh? What about that? What if we're dealing with a little bit, there's just a little bit of chronological fuckery, huh? Not racist confirmed. Thank you. He looks up here, dude. What the it's not like that weird. It's just he's kind of bug-eyed, you know? Looking at him here, another example of him not having a makeup team over him. Does he just not do makeup teams? Is this his roguish charm to look like shit all the time? He certainly didn't before going in front of a camera when he was down there at the southern border pretending to be some kind of sheriff. I can see the exact hairs he forgot to shave. Yeah, when was this from? November 2nd, 2023. These are the same beard hairs that he later failed to shave. Why is his nose so red? It might just be cold. I mean, he's talking to Rishi Sunak, right? So he might have just come in from the cold in the UK. That's my guess. Yeah, at London. It's from crying. Let's just say that it's from crying. What if he's drinking heavily? Nah, he does ketamine. That's his shit. He's a ketamine boy. He's a ketaminer.